I'm not kidding. After those nominations came out, I literally Googled how to become a part of the Academy because I was like, you bitches need reform from the inside out. This is not fair. You are dumb.
And you should. And you should.
Why is it so hard? Let me in there.
Dude, where are you? Pick up your phone. I'm going to summer party tonight, and you're obviously invited, so call me back. Okay, love you. Bye.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the weekly summer party for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drossbeck, co-hosted this week by a very special guest. I met Avery 2 years ago.
Yeah, it would have been Italy.
Truly such a joyful time in life to get to come across someone as beautiful and wonderful and vibrant as Avery. And how lucky are we to have you guested here on the pod this week? Welcome to the show, Avery, everybody.
So happy to be on. Frequent listener, first time caller. So happy to be here.
We love Avery here. I met Avery on the Italy trip 2 summers ago. Mm-hmm. And then you also came on the Spain trip.
I did.
Last summer.
Mm-hmm. Also, I would just like the people at home to know I don't normally sound like this. I just have the constitution of a sickly Victorian child. And New York City is coming for my ass.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that everyone that comes here for the first time, you're going to leave here sick.
Yeah. I mean, I truly have a horrible constitution. Like, for my fellow nerds out there, if I was a D&D character, -3 constitution, which you might not know what I'm talking about.
Honestly, I just love hearing you talk. I have no idea what the fuck you're saying.
Thank you. My nerds out there, if I say get in the comments, you know what's up. But yeah, I don't know if I've told you this story, but I actually got scarlet fever in the year of our Lord 2019.
I'm sorry, you got what?
Yes.
Avery, that's crazy.
Wouldst thou like to hear the tale?
Scarlet fever?
Scarlet fever.
That's incredible lore that you just unlocked for us right now.
Actually, technically, it was scarlatina because even though I have a terrible constitution,
scarlatina.
Even though I have a terrible constitution, I don't run fevers. What's really fun is obviously the next month, Little Women 2019, fantastic film came out. Went to go see it in theaters with my mom and sister. Both of those bitches, when Beth had to go to the coast for her scarlet fever, leaned over and went, "That's you." And that's how I had scarlet fever.
And it's so powerful to be seen in cinema like that.
You know, Beth was always my favorite. with the old Winona Ryder Little Women, like Beth was my girl. I was always spoilers for Little Women. I was always very sad when Beth died.
Whoa. Huge Little Women spoilers.
Listen, if you haven't seen it by now,
that's your own fault.
That's your fault.
Get with it.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's your first time in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And you're living, laughing, and loving.
I really am. Like, my friend Sarah said it best when she was like, when I told her I was coming on this trip, she was like, "Avery, you can't go to New York." I was like, what? And she was like, "You can't go to New York because you're going to want to live there." And I hate to say it, ladies and gentlemen, Sarah was indeed correct. I do very much now want to live in New York City. It is...
It's the best city in the world.
When they said greatest city in the world, they were
meant it.
So true.
They meant it. And you know what? I feel like every time I'm with a bunch of people that have not experienced the joy of New York or just like city haters in general, I say like New York is the greatest city in the world, and I never get more stares than when I say shit like that in that audience. But I'm like, you just don't get it. Like, if you enjoy cities and you come to New York, you will leave being like, well, this is the best one that I've ever encountered.
Greatest city in the world. And I'm so happy to be here. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing my
thank God
Emotionally Online shirt.
I do love that shirt.
It's very good. Can I give a silly little confession about this shirt?
Yeah. Yes.
So when I bought this shirt, I actually bought this shirt without ever having listened to a single podcast episode. Like, I've seen the errors of my ways. I do listen now.
I love that, Avery.
It was maybe...
No, I love the support. Regardless of if you were totally in the emotionally online universe, you were like, you know what? I believe energetically that in some timeline, I am in this universe.
Well, you see, the whole thing is that, like, you came out with the merch right before I went to the Italy trip, and I was like, oh, that's really cute merch, but I don't listen to Emotionally Online, so it's kind of weird if I buy the merch. And then I went on the Italy trip, met you, and I was like, I gotta buy my friend's merch. Like, I was like, it's different now. We're friends. I have to support my girl, and
I love it.
It's fantastic, honestly.
I know. I do love that design. I love the pastels. It's a great shirt. That's so funny, though. I love that.
Yes.
And I'm deeply touched by your commitment to supporting me.
I also, like, after that trip, got home and went and bought the wildflower planner of Mika and Ashley fame. Yeah.
Love those girls.
Me too.
What the hell? Shout out Mika and Ashley. I don't know how invested you are in Oscars nominations, but I just need to talk about it at the top of this episode because it has been the only thing I've thought about for the last week, really.
Okay.
I did post a like Oscars nomination reaction over on the Patreon. I recorded while the nominations were happening live, so you got my live reaction to everything, and we chatted for a little bit over on Patreon about it. If you're interested in seeing like the full unfiltered reaction to all of it, definitely go check that out.
Sign up for the Patreon.
I am experiencing a deep rage previously unknown to humankind for two reasons.
Tell us about it.
Number one, Luca Guadagnino deserves a kiss on the forehead.
Oh, okay.
For how deeply they have robbed this man of his rightful nomination.
Oh, is that the Challengers director?
And queer. Challengers and queer.
Wow.
0
This is
for both of
homophobic.
them. No, it literally fucking is, though. Like, Challengers, I love, like, my lived truth and something that greatly comforts me is that Challengers among my community and the people that I associate with is largely considered either the best or one of the best movies of the year, universally.
Period.
No detractors or disagreeers, okay? I have yet to come across one, and I don't wish to.
I watched it on the plane back from Spain.
And it's delicious, isn't it?
It was wonderful. Great plane movie choice.
Delicious, okay? It got nothing. And
It got nothing?
Nothing.
Not
Zero. Zero, Avery. I was so mad. Here's the thing. I knew the Academy was full of pinheads and losers, okay? This was not shocking to me. I knew the Challengers was not going to get like a Best Picture nomination or anything like that. I thought that maybe Luca Guadagnino would be nominated for queer. Perhaps Daniel Craig would get a nomination for that, for acting. I thought that at the very least they would give Challengers a nod in the score department, because when we're talking about scores, Challengers, not accepting any back and forth here, this is not a debate. Challengers had the best score of the year, hands down, no questions asked. No questions asked. Challengers had the best score of the year.
Sorry, I'm just so gooped at this information.
And you should be.
Like, I'm not a cinemaphile. I am not a film buff. But I saw Challengers and I was like, this is a film.
It's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. I could talk about how deeply I love Challengers for so long.
And you should.
And I don't think I'll ever stop. Like, the longer that I sit with it, the longer that it's been since Challengers come out, I'm just like, no, it really has... in the less than a year since it came out, has cemented itself in my like top 4 movies of all time.
Yeah.
I love Challengers. Yeah. I could watch it every day and not get sick of it. I love Challengers.
It is quite good.
So I am personally offended and bewildered at the exclusion, specifically in the score category, especially when they nominated Emilia Perez.
I've heard things about this film.
Avery,
The only thing I've seen of Amelia Perez is that like little clip of like penis
on
on vagina. I love that you knew. You knew. I was like,
it's the worst.
The fuck
and the
is
thing
this
is
shit?
that like that song happens in like the first 10 minutes of the film, and so you're like immediately thrown into this world where you're like, what? Sex change operation. I see. Man to woman, woman to man,
penis to vagina.
I'm like,
It's
that's
like, what?
crazy. What the fuck is this?
I think I saw like my friend, because like naturally like most if not all of my friends in Texas are queer. Believe it or not, there are queer people in the South. Like I saw a thing on my friend's Instagram story that was like, got a room full of trans people together and not a single one liked this movie.
No, literally. Like, this movie is uniting people across all fronts in our negative opinion of it.
And like I'd never heard of this movie until it started getting Oscar buzz, and I saw the people's righteous anger about it.
Yeah. So I had initially heard about it when it was at Cannes, because the actresses, they all won for Best Actress. I believe 4 of them did, 3 or 4. Oh, yeah, 4, I believe. All won Best Actress at Cannes for Amelia Perez. So I had known that. I hadn't read any like critique on the movie at that point. And then I was supposed to go see it in theaters because it was at Alamo for like a week before it came out on Netflix. And then when I went to go watch it on Netflix, I still hadn't read a lot of the critique about it. This was like early November. Me and my friend Jordan sat on this couch and watched it, and we were fucking gobsmacked from the start. I was like, this is unbelievably bad. Yeah. For starters, it's a musical where nobody wants to sing. Every single song it's mumblecore as hell. Like they're like, yeah, like even the clip of the sex change operation. I see. Like it's just like one note the whole, and it's like it's none of it has any type of passion or emotion or feeling. It's all so stifled. It feels like they were held at gunpoint to sing these songs. They are poorly written. They don't push the plot along at all. They just repeat back to you whatever happened in the dialogue of the scene before it. It's bad. The music is bad across the board, all of it. And like Selena Gomez is a talented singer. You wouldn't know it from watching this movie.
She's in that movie?
She's in that movie.
Damn. I have very strong feelings, and honestly, I think I have a right to. For those listening at home, so you know, I have a degree in this music shit, and like,
I think that you would be the perfect person to like watch and give a review of Amelia Perez. Like, I would never recommend anyone to see this movie ever. However, I would love to see your reaction specifically to this movie.
Your description, it's like for my opera heads, it's like if you decided to make a musical with just recitative, which recitative was the thing in opera where it was like half speaking, and it was like their way, because like the arias and the duets and stuff in opera don't really move the plot along. It's just like, let me stop and sing about my emotions.
Right.
And the recitative was what actually like moved the plot along. But it's like not hot opera take here. Recitative is like not what you go to the opera for. There aren't any famous recitatives. And you know what? If I'm wrong, you can say that, but you better have an opera degree to back it up. But I very, very firmly believe that what makes a musical good is I want the musical numbers. There are 2 reasons to have a musical number in a musical. The first reason is it's kind of cool if it moves the plot along. The only reason it wouldn't move the plot along is when the characters are having such big emotions that they can no longer speak about it. They have to sing about it.
Correct.
Like
Amelia Perez does neither.
Like, I think one of my favorite musicals that I thought was so interesting, because like a lot of people have a lot of people's beef with musicals is, number 1, they hate joy, but number 2,
I completely agree.
Number 2,
I love musicals.
Me too. Number 2 is they say that it hurts their immersion. Like, why are these people singing? And So there is a musical, Spring Awakening.
I love Spring Awakening.
It's so good.
I love Spring Awakening.
Especially the Deaf West theater production of it. Like, I don't know if you saw that. It, like, some of the characters were double cast by a deaf actor who signed all their songs. And then the, like, instruments were played by the character's singing voice. So like and they didn't do it with all the characters, but they were so incredibly strategic in the characters they chose to be the deaf actors. Check out Deaf West's revival of Spring Awakening. It's fabulous. But in Spring Awakening, the music is all meant to be, you know, the internal monologue. Like, these people aren't actually like singing and dancing. It's these teens' inner working. So the fact that Emilia Perez, number one, all of the music is just like the laziest form of music. Bad. And then two, that it's not actually moving the story along. It's like,
right.
You're why are you a musical?
I know. Those were my biggest criticisms immediately after watching it, and then reading more about it and more about the criticism both from Spanish speakers and from trans people, where both groups are like, this movie gets so much wrong.
Damn. Do people in Hollywood not realize that research is free?
Right.
Like,
well, also it's just frustrating because I think there are a lot of people that feel like the reason why they're nominating Emilia Perez is more of like a political statement than anything else. However, there's some really fantastic trans movies that were put out this year that were not nominated. Like, I saw The TV Glow was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really, if that was really it, we had better choices.
I saw The TV Glow nominated for anything?
Nothing. No.
God.
Yeah.
Can one joy though is Demi Moore, The Substance.
So true.
Horror girlies
so
finally getting their flowers.
I don't know if I'm rooting for her to win it, to be honest.
Really?
Mostly because I just saw I'm Still Here, which is nominated for Best Picture, and Fernanda Torres is nominated for Best Actress for that movie. And I was like so moved by her performance that I'm sort of now like, okay, hold on. I kind of want her to win it. Even though I do, The Substance is my second favorite movie of the year. I loved Demi Moore's performance there, but like Fernanda Torres just like moved the shit out of me. Sobbed the whole way through.
Granted, I barely have a horse in this race. I have not seen I'm Still Here.
So good. Highly recommend.
Okay.
It's also in the international category as well, which I'm hoping it's up against Emilia Perez in the international category. So to me, like I'm Still Here is like my fighting chance at getting rid of Emilia Perez in some of these categories, because I'm Still Here is unfathomably good.
Okay.
And like it would be absurd to me if Emilia Perez won over I'm Still Here, because these are like two completely different calibers. I'm Still Here, to me, has potential to be seen as like one of the greats years from now. And Emilia Perez does not even fucking come close to achieving anything like that.
I do greatly enjoy though that like Demi Moore, this is her first Oscar nomination, because I don't know if it's still the case, but I once watched a video that was like the energy people have about Leo DiCaprio needing an Oscar. Those same people should have the same energy towards Amy Adams, and it actually was more deserving to Amy Adams, because if you look at the statistically speaking, when you look at like the past winners, men as they get older are more likely to win an Oscar, whereas women, guess what? Statistically, the older they get, the less likely they are to win an Oscar. So I think I found that really fascinating. I want to say it was like maybe an old film theory YouTube, but I just found that very interesting. And so like with Michelle Yeoh and like all that stuff, I just get like such joy when not only when I see older women in Hollywood, but also seeing them getting their flowers and like considering like the substance of the substance.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was so thrilled to see The Substance get a few nominations. Best Picture being one of them. Because it's just like so unexpected.
Yeah. What
for a
are the
movie
Best
like
Picture
that.
noms?
The Best Picture noms are A Complete Unknown, Anora, The Substance, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, Wicked, Conclave. Hold on, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. Amelia Perez. Fuck, tried to put that one out of my brain. And The Brutalist.
Oh, I'm surprised to hear Wicked was nominated because
Yeah.
normally you don't think of like I guess in like the golden age of Hollywood, yes, musicals were being nominated left, right, and center, but I feel like you haven't seen that as much in the last couple of years.
I agree. I was happy that it was though, because I really truly loved Wicked. But some of the like choices for like score, I believe Wicked is nominated for score.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so is score nominees are like Amelia Perez, Conclave, Wicked, and then I think it's like The Wild Robot and The Brutalist.
Okay.
Where the fuck is Challengers?
Where the fuck is Challengers?
Sorry, where the fuck is Challengers? And then the fact that in the original song category, there's 5 nominees, 2 of which are from Amelia Perez. What the fuck? If you couldn't fucking resist yourself from nominating an Amelia Perez song, why did we have to do 2?
Why 2?
Why 2? Why couldn't we just give them 1 and then give the other one to Challengers?
The
Pissing
Challenger
me
score
off.
was, and like the Challenger score was so like different too.
Yes.
Like
it's
it wasn't
so
just
good.
same hat.
Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Justice will be served.
Justice for Challengers.
No, literally. I'm not kidding. After those nominations came out, I literally Googled how to become a part of the Academy because I was like, you bitches need reform from the inside out. This is not fair. You are dumb.
And you should. And you should.
Why is it so hard? Let me in there.
Let her in.
Let
Diversify.
me in, okay?
You need.
I have a good sense of the vibes. Okay,
Yeah.
so just let me in, and I will judge strictly based off vibes, and I will have the most correct assessment.
She
'Cause
went to film school.
Clearly, you bitches don't know what the fuck you're talking about anymore.
She got a degree in this shit.
I'm so pissed off.
And you should be.
So that's where I'm at now with the Oscar nominations. I still have to think about who I am predicting in each category and who I personally want in each category. These things are difficult.
I mean, just because I'm in like my horror girly era, I'm gunning for The Substance.
Yeah.
Substance and Demi Moore.
I would be very happy with that. I kind of, for Best Picture, I'm hoping Anora wins.
I haven't seen Anora. I need to.
I love Sean Baker, and I loved Anora, and I just would love to see Anora win Best Picture. But if Demi Moore won Actress, I would be happy with it. However, if those two things happened, if Anora won Best Picture and Demi Moore won for Actress, I'm Still Here needs to win for International, or I will lose my mind.
Yeah. Riots in the streets.
Like, there needs to be... I just can't even think about that because Fernanda Torres really did put on like one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And if that movie doesn't get its proper flowers, I will storm the Academy.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
I mean, if I shouldn't make this joke, but if people can storm the Capitol, I think you should get to storm,
we can storm the Academy. Each of you individually at your homes.
Yes.
That's
We'll have our own January 6th. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's gonna happen on March 8th. Or no, sorry. March 3rd.
March 3rd.
March 3rd, the day after the Oscars,
Got a
we
ring
are
to it.
storming the Academy.
Got a ring to it.
Put it on your calendars. When was the last time you needed to go to a doctor but just kept pushing it off? Maybe you're too busy, you just figured it would heal on its own, or you needed to find a new doctor and you were just overwhelmed by the whole entire process of that. No matter what your reason may be, I think it is something that we have all been through at some point for one reason or the other. Finding a doctor can be an intimidating process, but thanks to ZocDoc, there is no reason to delay any further because they make it so easy to find and book a doctor that is perfect for you. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with over 100,000 doctors across many different specialties. From mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, dermatology, whatever it is, there are plenty of doctor options in your area and in-network over on ZocDoc. You can filter by doctors that take your insurance, are located nearby, and that have highly rated, verified reviews from other people in your area. Once you find the doctor that fits what you're looking for, you're able to see their schedule right on your computer and book a time slot that works for you. And one of the best parts about ZocDoc is that typically appointments made through their platform have pretty quick turnarounds, so you can end up in a doctor's office as soon as 24 to 72 hours after you book. I have personally booked through ZocDoc in the past. That's how I found my present day dermatologist. It made the whole process so seamless. Literally a few clicks, was able to find a dermatologist in my area. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/emotionallyonline to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/emotionallyonline, ZocDoc.com/emotionallyonline. Shall we hop into some of these audience submissions?
I would love nothing more.
Hi, Maddie, longtime listener, first-time submitter. I wanted to ask you how you cope emotionally being long distance with 3 of your closest friends, Ashley, Mika, and Ellie. My college friend group is currently scattered throughout Europe, so we all meet maybe a few times a year. I really struggle with the lack of day-to-day interactions and the fact that I don't get to be involved in their day-to-day lives. When we're apart, most of our interactions are about catching up, talking about how we are and our news. When silly stuff happens in the group chat, not all of us engage, especially 2 out of the 5 friends. We're all caught up in our own lives, and I feel like we're not living life together. How do you make it so that you feel more involved in your long-distance besties' lives? Or is it something that you don't feel like you need in your friendships? Also, does it not make you feel bad that the 3 of them live in the same city and meet up without you? Like, you're not there to experience the good times with them. Sometimes I feel a bit jealous when the rest of the group manages to meet in the same city for some time without me. I guess at the end, it's all about feeling secure in the relationship you have with them. Any suggestions on how one can feel more secure in a long-distance friendship? Thank you for talking about your life so sincerely and reflecting on your feelings so openly. It really helps a lot. Thanks for submitting. I have many thoughts about this.
I do as well, actually.
So here's what I'll say. Mm-hmm. I think that for starters, are there times where I like see Ashley, Ellie, and Mika hanging out and doing stuff in Boston, and I'm like, oh, damn, wish I was with those girls. Mm-hmm. Love them. Best people ever. For sure. Yeah. Do I ever feel jealous? No. But I'll tell you why I don't. Okay. And it's because the 3 of them do such a good job of making me know that I'm missed, that I've never felt jealous of the time they spend together, because I never actually feel like they're like becoming closer without me and I'm getting left in the dust or whatever. Like, I have never felt like unprioritized by them at all. And like frequently Ashley is like, I love that she does this. Yeah. And also like sometimes I feel so bad because I'm like, I absolutely can't do that, but I love that you asked. But like Ashley will always be like, okay, so like what if, just hear me out. What if you like flew to Boston this weekend? And it's always like super, I'm like, I can't do that. I have like a cat and a foster and I've got, you know, commitments and whatever. But I love that she will frequently just be like, okay, but what if you were here? And like, they'll always send texts in the group chat being like, oh, when are we going to all be together again? Yeah. And it like, they engage with me as if they don't see each other super regularly. Like when we talk, they talk as if it's like, it's just not the same if one of us isn't there. Yeah. And I just feel like I've always felt that from them. So I don't feel jealous. And honestly, I love seeing them get to be together and live life and support each other and be intertwined in that way. And like my decision to be in New York is one that I feel really clear on. And I think if I didn't feel clear on it, I might feel more jealous because I'd be like, well, I'm here and they're there and I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I don't wish I was there. I'm happy being here and I'm happy that they get to have each other. And I wish that I got to spend more moments with them like that. But I think because they have never made me feel like I was second tier, and they've always let me know that they wished I was there or that they were thinking of me. I just, they are very special people in the way they make me feel included despite the distance.
That's beautiful.
And their closeness.
Yeah, I kind of love coincidences, and I love the coincidence that our submitter has a friend group of 5, and I actually have a book club that I love dearly, and
Love it.
we are a group of 5, if you count me. And this book club formed in December of 2019. Okay,
wow.
Like perfect
Long
timing.
term.
Perfect timing, because, well, if you think about it, in for those of you at home, if you don't remember a little thing that happened in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic, turns out the perfect thing to have was a book club because we had all this time. It was funny because it was, most of us didn't know each other. Our like connection point was my friend Kelly. Shout out to Kelly. One of my longest friends since kindergarten.
Love it.
She put us all together, and it became a joke that we were like, oh my gosh, like we're thrown in a group chat together and everybody happens to have iPhones. And we were like, wow, the greatest gift. And that just ended up being the group chat name. And that group chat really was like the greatest gift in that pandemic is I got so incredibly close to all of those people. And now it's, now none of us live in the same city. So like spread throughout Europe, I feel you. Imagine being spread throughout the United States. And I think something that was hard for me was about a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. We realized that like, while we are close friends and we love our friendship, we just don't have time to be a book club anymore. And I was very saddened by that. And I was like, if we don't have this book club and this group chat, how will I keep these people in my life? And so what I ended up doing is pouring into the individual friendships and reaching out outside of the group chat and like arranging hangouts, making calls so that I could take this friendship that started as a group thing and know that even if I didn't have the group thing, I could still have these individual friendships be quite strong.
Yeah, and I even think that like when you have poured into those one-on-one connections, there's less to feel jealous about because you feel like you have like strong individual connections with each of them and you're just sort of like happy to see them have great individual connections with each other as well. I do think that sometimes like the group dynamic of it all can sort of make things feel more
like tenuous.
Yeah. I think it like brings up more. And so I'm a big fan of zeroing in on like the individual connections. And also worth noting is that I also think there is some like beauty in like accepting the fact that friendships will look different when there's distance between you. And like there are going to be different seasons of your life and of your friendships. Obviously, Ashley and I grew up together. I spent every day seeing her in school from, you know, the time I was little to when I graduated. And then there was a shift in our relationship where then we're long distance for the first time in our like whole lives. And so Ashley and I are still in constant contact. I communicate with her more than I communicate with any other living person on earth, 100%. However, like, do Ashley and I have like deep, meaningful conversations every single day? No, of course not. Do I even talk to her on the phone every single day? No. Same with Ellie. Ellie and I met in college. We lived together for 2 years.
Wow.
She lived in New York after those 2 years, so we were still seeing each other all the time. And then she moved to Boston. And there was actually a period in our friendship where Ellie and I did sort of drift away a little bit. I never took it personally at all. I was just like, we're in totally different fields. She moved to Boston. She does social work, and she's like a fucking angel among us, doing like really hard emotional work. She is like, just the woman that you hope is by your side in those moments. And like, during that period where we were less close and less involved in each other's day-to-day lives, I, in my head, was always just like, Ellie's off saving the goddamn world. And like, when our lives loop back together again, they'll loop back together again. And then like a year later, there we were, looped back together again. And everything was beautiful and wonderful. And I think there is some beauty in accepting like those shifts in your friendship and being like, I love this person and I am so clear on how they love me that like I'm able to trust that maybe this is a season where we're going to be less close. But we're going to come back.
And I think
around afterwards.
There's something so powerful about friendships where you can just pick up because life gets so crazy. Like,
totally.
I think about one of my best friends that we've always been in a long distance friendship because we met in high school through a like Unitarian Universalist youth program, and he always lived in Austin and I always lived in Fort Worth, and we would Skype like multiple times a week. And then when we started college, he went to Philadelphia for college, and like life just got really crazy, and I don't think we'd talked for like, and like we're both terrible texters, and so I don't think we had talked for like 3 years. And then randomly out of the blue, we started texting again, and he's like, hey, I'm actually getting married next month. Do you want to come to my wedding? And I was like, absolutely, I want to come to your wedding. And what I didn't realize is that I was one of 6 people invited to his wedding.
Wow.
A week later, he had a larger reception. But I just thought it was so beautiful to like be there for that moment. And I don't know, we've just always had seasons of our lives where like we won't talk for a long time. And then when we're able to pick things back up, it's just like
so nice,
natural.
and easy.
Yeah.
And I think that is like, sometimes it's easier said than done. And it takes a specific kind of friendship. You do have to have like a certain like pre-established level of closeness to be able to have that kind of trust with someone. But like with people like Ashley, Ellie, and Mika, I like trust them and our connection to each other so wholeheartedly. I don't have like one singular doubt about any of them. I know we will be friends forever. So for me, like to go through seasons where Ellie and I were not in regular communication the whole time, I just felt like I was on the sidelines like, go Ellie, let's go. Like I knew that it was more important for her to like adjust to a new city and to a new work environment, and she's doing such like huge incredible things. And like ultimately right now I'm in a stage in my life where I am a more flexible person. I work from home, I work for myself, like and I don't have like an emotionally taxing job the way that she does. Like I need to be the one to like, I can't be like, hello, you need to prioritize our friendship right now.
Yeah.
She didn't need to prioritize our friendship right now. There were other things going on, and I am like so excited for my friends and the personal growth journeys that they need to go on. I am happy to be on the sidelines being a supporter if I need to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I just always knew that like we would come back together and it would be all in sync again. And like genuinely, when I say I never felt bad about it even once, I was never upset about it even once, I mean that.
Yeah.
And I think that is genuinely just because I trusted our connection so wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And it was never a matter of like, oh, is this distance indicative of like a failing our friendship has? No, never once thought that. It was always just like, we are two grown individual people who are on slightly different paths right now.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
And that's the beautiful thing about life, is that like we can weave and we can come back together.
The number one thing with long distance friendships is like, obviously to maintain a super close long distance friendship, it like takes two to tango.
Yes.
And it's about the like kind of effort you both are putting in. And I do totally agree on the emphasis being put on like individual friendships over maintaining long distance group dynamic. I feel like the group dynamic will happen naturally if you just maintain those individual friendships, and you will feel more fulfilled if you focus on the individual friendships as well.
Definitely.
And also I think that like treating other people in the group, speaking to them the way that you want to be spoken to is also huge. Like when you're with other people in the group, to text the other people and be like, we're having so much fun and I wish that you were here with us right now.
Yes.
We would be having, 10 times more fun if you guys were here too. Love you, thinking of you. Like, hope you guys have the best day ever. Wish you were here. Just like little gestures to let people know that you're thinking of them and you wish that they were there as well, I think goes a long way. And sometimes if you kickstart those things, people will sort of follow suit the next time they're together. And I think sometimes that little reminder from people that like you are remembered and thought of and your presence is valued within the group even when you're not around, that helps to alleviate a lot of the jealousy.
Absolutely.
Because obviously you're still going to wish you were there. Obviously. Fucking, I'll take all the bestie hours I can get.
Yes. FOMO is real.
Completely. And like to some degree that's natural and you're always going to feel that way. But it's totally normal and natural to like want the people in your life to vocalize that. You can also just ask them directly to vocalize that. But
absolutely.
So long distance friendships are hard. And also so beautiful and so wonderful and like very possible to maintain if you are both putting in the effort and love.
Amen. Preach.
I'm a trans man that started transition in his late 20s. I'm in my early 30s now. As you can imagine, I spent the majority of my life being socialized as a girl/woman. One of my favorite things about my platonic relationships with women was and remains the closeness and intimacy of those relationships, as well as the romantic-esque gestures within those platonic relationships. However, I've found that as I've gotten further into my transition, the new friendships I try to deepen with women take a much longer time as a whole to develop any sort of actual closeness or trust beyond superficial knowledge of each other. An innocent physical touch is now a thing that just does not happen in my friendships, even with a few friends I have known prior to my transition. I miss the closeness and innocent physical intimacy a lot and would like to make it more of a priority in my friendships, current and new friendships in the future. How would you go about setting that precedent? I'm a lover boy at heart, and deep, intimate relationships are some of my favorite parts of life. Side note, I also crave sleepovers like I used to have back in middle school, so of course I love the pod. Love hanging with the girlies.
Okay, well, first off, if you're craving a sleepover, let me empower you to host a sleepover.
Period.
Like, be the force of building the community you want to see in your life. Don't wait for someone else to make it happen. And as far as the platonic touches, I think there is something so beautiful about just asking, like, because I'm a very physical person. Now, granted, I am not on testosterone, even though I am non-binary. But I do have lots of friends who are on T, transitioning, and all that stuff. And I think that, number one, I think like being vulnerable to create the platonic touch that you want, and also like having the ability to be vulnerable and like ask. So much can happen with open and honest communication. And I think so many of us are like so scared of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody with a ton of rejection sensitivity, it can be really hard to just ask for what you want. But it is so beautiful the way the world will open up to you when you just take the time to ask people for what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree on that front. We talked a little bit about platonic physical touch in last week's episode, and it triggered a nice conversation over on the Lover Girls Discord, where I had mentioned some story about a time that somebody had like I had, you know, instinctively went in to go hug someone, and they set like a immediate boundary with me, like, oh, I actually don't like to hug, I prefer to do a handshake instead. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I thought that was like so beautiful and wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's so second nature to like go in and give someone a hug as a greeting. I loved someone setting like a in the moment, like, so not a big deal, this is what I would prefer, and being able to like adjust to their comfort level.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people are like afraid of speaking up in both directions, asking for that physical touch, and also like setting boundaries with what physical touch they feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of other people taking it personally. I would like to introduce a third possible option to the chat, which is just that it is possible that other people will just admire you for being so upfront and clear about your boundaries and wants and needs. I know that's how I feel when other people do it. I never take it personally. I never feel judgmental at all. I feel like my gut reaction is just to be like, I love that. Yeah. I love that you are so clear on what your boundaries are and what you're comfortable with. And I especially loved in that example that this person wasn't cold to me. They didn't like shut me off. They offered me an alternative, a way to engage with them and to greet them that they felt more comfortable with. And I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. This is like a model example of this interaction.
I literally had something very similar happen. One of the friends that I made on the Lover Girls Sleepaway Summer Camp, go on the Trova trips if you can. I've like now, I think, slept in the homes of like 5 people I've met via Italy or Spain. But we were reuniting, and like she knew that I'm a big hugger. So she was like, just a reminder, I don't really like hugs. So please don't hug me when we see each other. And like,
I love it.
She lives in Ireland. So I like was so excited to see her. And so when we were reunited, I came running up and I like hugged myself, and I was like, I'm so happy to see you. So we love a secret third option. And I think it's just so beautiful that like, I don't know, like be your own, what's the word I'm looking for? Be your own person to say your wants and needs. And that will also then empower others to do the same.
100%. I totally agree. And yeah, we all crave that like close, intimate, like friendship and companionship with people. And I completely empathize with your want to invite more of that into your life, and to also invite like the ease of that intimacy back into this new chapter of your life. And I trust that you will find people that it will feel that easy with.
Hell yeah.
Dear Maddie, I have been a fan of your podcast for a while now, and I need your advice, reassurance, or rightful call out, whatever you deem appropriate for my situation at hand. I have experienced 2 breakups this year. The first was with a man who was emotionally unavailable. He love bombed me for the first 2 months and then did a complete 180 once I asked for exclusivity. I spent a lot of time chasing down this guy, trying to schedule dates and picking up after someone unwilling to do the bare minimum. It is heartbreaking to think that I let myself stoop so low in search for validation, and I vowed to never beg for love again. After that experience, I made a conscious decision to take a step back from dating to focus on my mental health and sense of self-worth. That lasted for about 6 months until I hit it off with a guy in my grad program. He asked me to be his partner 1 month into us dating, bought me gifts, made me feel amazing and secure in my own body, and swept me away with a lot of romantic gestures. Once again, a complete 180 occurred when we spoke about longevity, and I expressed that I desired to be in a long-term relationship. He completely shut down and told me that he felt backed into a corner and then ended things with me. I felt really confused because my assumption is that when someone asks you to be their partner, they are also looking for a long-term relationship. My question for you is, how early is too early to ask someone what their intentions are in a relationship, and how explicit do these conditions need to be once the conversation has been had? I am not sure how to balance letting a relationship flow naturally versus advocating for my needs and boundaries early on in a relationship. Are we plagued with a commitment epidemic in our society? I am losing faith in my ability to trust other people / be open to dating, and I could really use your insight. Here's the thing, and this is maybe an unsatisfying answer for you, but anytime you want to tell someone what it is you're looking for is the right time to tell them what it is you're looking for.
Amen.
There's no such thing as too early to bring up those conversation topics. I am a firm believer in you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person.
My friend Kelly said that to me.
This is like one of my favorite quotes ever. It has alleviated so much stress with me in dating. I am so anti all of these like, okay, well, once you go on the first date, you have to wait 2 days before sending a text and then do this and wait this long before doing this. That is so fucking robotic. That is not how any of us experiences romance and intimacy and building connection with any living person. To think that like there is a right or wrong way to approach opening up your feelings to another person, I think is ridiculous. And ultimately, anyone that has a negative reaction to you expressing what it is that you're looking for, where you're at emotionally, anyone that has an adverse reaction to that is not your fucking person.
Amen.
Like, I just think that, like, and I felt this all the time when I was dating more regularly. And when the conversation topic of like, well, what are you looking for would come up, and I was always so upfront, like, I am looking for a long-term relationship. That is what I am doing. I am not looking for casual hookups or short-term flings. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. And there would occasionally be people that were sort of like, whoa. Like, it was a big, huge thing that I was laying on the table just then. And I'm like, I didn't say with you. I don't know you.
Yeah.
That is my objective. That is my goal in dating right now, is I'm looking for that and only that. I'm not open to, like, if we don't click in that way, to be something other, like to be a casual fling. That's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think to be upfront with your dating objective, because obviously it fucking doesn't mean I want it with you. I don't know you like that.
Yeah.
But that is what I am dating and looking for. I think it's fine to say that on the first fucking date. I think it's fine to say that whenever you want to say that.
Yeah.
Like, I just am so against this idea of trying to like manicure ourselves and time the things we say perfectly so as to not overwhelm people or be too much for people.
They can go find less.
Completely. And my like fear of my own too muchness kept me in a cage in my early 20s.
Oh my gosh.
And the second I got rid of it and was like, actually, if these people are overwhelmed by my directness and my clarity on what it is that I'm looking for, then they are not clear enough to be with someone like me.
Yeah.
If they don't know what they're looking for and hearing me be so clear overwhelms them, awesome. Great to know. We're not a match.
Yeah.
And that's that. And it doesn't have to be like, I just think that if someone is suited for you, if you guys are meant to be with each other, there's no such thing as too soon to bring that up.
Gosh, it's like you're speaking to my soul right now. Like, I think it is so okay to be needy. And
100%.
to, going back to our last question, voice your wants and needs. Like, when I was in college, back when I was deeply closeted, oof, it was always this like fucking song and dance. And I always felt like I had to like breadcrumb who I actually was, because if I actually let someone see who I really was, that I would scare them off. And that's just like such a rotted way to live. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It also doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them.
Totally.
It just means that y'all aren't meant to
Compatible.
be.
Yeah. It's just a difference in what it is you're looking for. I will say, though, to be in a full relationship with someone and then to freak out when you're like assuming it's long term is kind of bananas to me. Like,
Hit him with your car.
what the hell does that mean? If we're in a relationship and you're in your head like, yeah, but we won't make it past 2025. I'm
What's
like,
the fucking point?
what? Literally, what's the point? Why be in a relationship with me if you are not intending to see how far this can go? If at the start of the relationship you already see the end, just fucking break up with me.
Why?
So I just want to affirm to you that like you're not crazy for assuming that long term was the given there with the person that you were in a full relationship with. That is a bizarre reaction on their part, in my opinion. If you're in a full labeled relationship with someone and then all of a sudden you're like, long term, whoa, that we got to do some unpacking of that in therapy, because what?
It's not like
What?
you got down on one knee. It was like marriage time.
Right.
Like, that guy needs therapy.
Yeah, I would just never call someone my boyfriend, my girlfriend, if I already had in my head that I knew I was going to break up with them. What's the fucking point? And also, your final question of like, are we plagued with this like commitment epidemic?
Absolutely.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do feel like we are. However, there are great people all over the place out there in the world that are totally ready, willing, and able to give you that commitment. I am very anti like doom and gloom about dating, but I get it because I've been very doom and gloom about dating in the past.
Yeah.
And even now, looking at my dating life, which is not happening, I don't date right now. The reason why I'm not dating, well, there's several reasons, but one of which being obviously that I am no longer interested in being on dating apps because of a very similar reason.
Men.
I'm just like kind of over the way that people on dating apps treat each other, the like insistence on casual and like these fleeting non-emotional entanglements, and again like the assumed lack of commitment that a lot of people have in these dating spaces that I don't align with and don't want to be around. So my like reason to step away from dating, it is in some ways connected to a like frustration with the like overwhelming lack of commitment and emphasis on more casual fleeting dynamics that I am just not comfortable with or interested in. However, my observation of that being like a turn that things have taken has not diminished my hope or knowledge that like real love is out there, and like people who feel the way that I do and want the things that I do are also real and exist and are out there. And I hate to say this because I feel like I say this all the fucking time, and I'm sure that it's something people roll their eyes at, but like
a great woman once said that the love I deserve exists because I exist.
Exactly. Use yourself as proof. Like, you can't and honestly it does feel helpful to me to always bring it there, because I'm like, it would kind of be so like self-centered and like self-important of me to believe that I was the only one that had the capacity to feel like this. That would be kind of bananas, right?
Crazy pants.
So it's very easy to believe that if you feel the way that you do and you want the things that you want and you dream of, you know, the connection and companionship and romance that it is that you dream of, we have to believe that there are other people that are like that too.
Yes.
Because it would be crazy not to.
Imagine how powerful it would be if we all deleted Hinge.
I know.
I deleted Hinge last year and have not regretted it.
Yeah.
Have not regretted it.
Honestly, I think that yeah, dating apps need to do like a major overhaul in the way that they function and like really just reinvent the fucking wheel in order for me to want to get back on that.
Kind of like speaking to the lover girls of the world. I think there's something that very powerful that can happen when you take the energy that you have like trying to find a romantic partner and instead pour it into creating and building your friendships and community. Like I said, in my horror era, I recently watched 28 Days Later for the first time. And I watched it with my roommate Liam because it's one of his favorite movies. And
I think there's a new version of that coming out.
there is indeed.
Alex Garland.
Yeah. And I was like, I was expecting like, I'm going to be real. I don't normally fuck with zombies, but it's like a big like cultural touchstone and my roommate loves it. And so we sat down to watch it. And something that I found so incredibly compelling is the community aspect and the building of community and like asking the question at the end of the world, what do we have to live for? I was talking to Liam about this and he said something that I thought was great because as we all know, in 28 Days Later, it's not actually zombies, it's a rage virus. And my roommate goes,
Obviously, we all knew that, guys.
obviously, don't call it zombies. They don't like that. My roommate goes, what is the opposite of rage if not community? And in the coming days, we gonna need some community.
It's very true. It's never too early to ask someone what their intentions are or to share what your intentions are in dating. Never let anyone make you feel like there is a exact timeline we need to be focusing on. Never let anyone make you feel like you are too much for expressing what it is that you want or having that clarity in what it is you want. I think it's a wonderful thing to have that clarity. And if someone else is not on that same wavelength, is not on that same vibe, if they are overwhelmed by that clarity,
hit them with your car.
You don't need them. It's probably best that this relationship ended. So with that, thanks so much for coming on the pod, Avery. This was so fun.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So with that, I'm going to throw it on over to the post show. So I'll see you guys over there. And if not, I'll see you in next week's episode. Bye.